show has been made possible by Netax Storage Solutions. Who are Netax Storage Solutions, you ask me? Well, they offer over here memory cards and storage devices. So if you've got a camera, you want a reliable memory card. There's been various YouTube reviews and checks of the speeds of these, and they promise to deliver what they say on the card. So make sure to check the link in the description to pick up your card today, and let's get on with the show. Quite a hefty one, but it's the mini desktop. This one is the Dell Precision Mini Desktop. What do I mean by that? Well, with desktops, they come in different sizes. I've got another one, which I'm live streaming off now, which is the Asus desktop machine. That's actually quite big. Look, so if you consider this is in the box, when I take it out of the box, it'll be a lot smaller. But my Asus is actually a higher tower. Why would you want a higher tower versus a smaller tower? There's a few important things to consider. While I'm opening this, I'll give you some of the tips. So the main thing you want to think about is what is your intended use for the desktop, and also, apologies if that noise is too loud. Let me just work my way around the box. There we go. So I've got the side open. Hopefully that allows me access. And it's double boxed, which will be a nice little Christmas present, isn't it? Okay. So again, I am here live to answer your questions. So let me just let you know I'm here. Hi. Any questions? Any questions? If I can spell. Questions I can help today. Let me just drop that in chat just to make sure you can see. There we go. Okay, so I've got that linked up. I just wanted to make sure we were definitely live before I started unboxing it. So yeah, we are looking at the Dell Precision. Now let me get this out. Okay, we've got good packaging here. So let's get rid of the extra boxes. And of course, you might want to see this come out. Should I come around that side? Let me come around that side. So if I do that, you could probably still hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, that was a bit of a hassle, wasn't it? It's a big machine, so of course a big machine needs good packaging. As you can see, it was perfectly packaged. It came in a multi-layer box, which is great. It's a desktop computer. We want it to be safe. Let's take some of the extra foam off. I've got to be neat here. I don't want to make a mess around me because we've got a number of things we're unboxing today. So I want to make sure that I can cover these and have space around my small studio space. Okay, so these might make really loud noises because they're tape, and nobody likes noisy tape, and it's right up against the mic as well. So let me twist that mic around so you don't get the brunt of it. Okay, so obviously at the moment things are uncertain, so we want to make sure everything we're doing right now is nice and clean. So I've got some disinfectant spray. I'm going to give it a spritz to give it a quick wipe before we continue. Oh, we can hear some noises. That makes me think something could be loose inside. So I've got a mix of disinfectant in my little spray there. So we're just going to give it a quick wipe over and make sure we are good. It's very important to wipe it down. Again, I am live on Amazon Live today. We are linking items in the carousel that I'm talking about. So if you have any questions, drop them in chat and I can do my best to answer you. I am going to be speaking about desktop computers and how you can get a good one for live streaming. The basic thing here is I'm helping a friend set up a live stream. he hasn't got a clue about live streaming or computers in general. So what I'm going to do is I've picked out a machine, which is this machine. I'm going to pick out all the cables, the leads that you will need, the camera, all of that stuff to get you live streaming quickly. So remember, your live stream depends on what you're doing. If you're going to be gaming at the same time, I would recommend a different computer. This is going to be for woodworking. They're actually going to be doing a woodworking, and this is going to be set up in their studio so they can live stream their work at 1080p. So that's the intended purpose for this. Again, I am live, so if you're on chat, let me know. I'm here to answer. Let me move this out of the way. That says glass cleaner. It's not glass cleaner. I've used that bottle and repurposed it. I've got disinfectant in there, and I'm disinfecting the new computer just to make sure. You never know. Okay, so here we go. Let me put that there. Should I put it there? Let me put it on this side because my light's going to get blocked otherwise. Let me get rid of my little trusty Swiss Army knife, he says. Let's put that there. Get rid of that there. I'll bring my chat over here. So I have got my chat right now here so I can see if you have any comments. Bring that over here. There you go. That looks quite snazzy, doesn't it? Okay, so I'll bring my chat there. Now, there is my machine. That is, of course, a Dell Precision. You can see it highlighted in the comments below. So keep an eye on that. Now, what do we need to do? Firstly, I've disinfected it. Perfect. You can see this machine is good for in and outs. So the main thing we want is be able to use multiple USBs. So we can see we've got USB selection on the front. Let's just make sure those are USB SS. Okay, so 2 are USB 2 and 3 will be USB 3 for higher speed. Let me check the back. We've got noise in there. I'm sure there's something loose. Let me check. Yeah, there's something loose in there. Make sure. How do I open this? Will I need a screwdriver? I'm sure I will. Okay, oh, he doesn't need a screwdriver. It's got a bloody beautiful little latch system there, which you can see just over here. You kind of lift and slide, he says. Then you put it down flat. Lift. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Okay, so that's there. I'm basically looking inside the system. Shall I take you to my top-down shot? Let me know if you're in chat right now. Would you want to see the inside of the computer? I can take you to my desk and show you a top-down, which I probably will do. Let me do that 1 second. Okay, it was basically the cables that are moving about. Let me get my remote. Let me go to my... There we go. I'm going to take it over to my desk. Hopefully, my top-down shot is set. Let me check if it has before I continue. This show has been made possible by Netax Storage Solutions. Who are Netax Storage Solutions, you ask me? Well, they offer, over here, memory cards and storage devices. So if you've got a camera, you want a reliable memory card. There's been various YouTube reviews and checks of the speeds of these, and they promise to deliver what they say on the card. So make sure to check the link in the description to pick up your card today, and let's get on with the show. The top-down camera is not currently on. So what I'll do is I'll take you back over to my desk. I will continue over there. Okay, so this happens in live scenarios. I had a top-down camera set up for you to show you exactly the inside of the computer. But what's happening is that top-down shot, the HDMI capture card I use, I did not turn it on. So we're going to continue. We're going to smash through this. So here we go. Let me put it up so you can see it. Again, I am here in chat. So I am talking to you today on Amazon Live. Let me position this so you can see it better. Does that show? Does that show? See, if I had set up my top-down shot correctly, I would not need to do this. However, we're going to enjoy it. Okay, so let me move that over there. Just bring that slightly there. Just make sure you're still live. Okay, there we go. So, in this machine, we have DVD drive, essential. It's a DVD rewriting drive. What that means is you can rewrite DVDs and back up things onto CD if people do that anymore. I still do it, because I still have these. I have a spindle of DVDs. The best way to back something up is put it onto DVD and keep your DVD. You've got 4 gig. Not a lot these days, but it's enough. Also, if you're in chat, do say hello. If you're shopping on Amazon today and you're struggling with your purchase, let me know. I'm here to help you and to basically speak about live streaming. This machine has got a graphics card, 2 gigabytes graphics card, and I've discovered what the noise was. It was this. Now, come on, folks. When you're buying a brand new computer, you don't want little floaty metal bits in there. Luckily, I know what I'm doing, so I can basically fit that back in. And looking on this, I can see it is the front plate of the DVD drive. So normally what happens, this will go and block the drive. You can take it out, you can put another drive in. Because you can see here, we have 2 slots for drives. So one is used up with the DVD, one is not used up. So that's what that is. It basically slots in place. So I'm sure during transit, it probably had a knock and just come out. So at least that bit's sorted out. Anyway, going back to the internals. Now, do you live stream? What's the main thing you need when you're live streaming? Come on, let me know in Amazon chat if you're there. If you're not familiar with it, I'll explain to you. So you want firstly a good computer. What is a good computer? Ideally, you want a processor. Let me move this out of the way so I can. There's the side panel. Okay, let me bring this right up here. So we've got a nice, we've got some nice space. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you're struggling to hear me. I can keep an eye on chat over there. There you go. Okay, so as we were saying, live streaming PCs are essential. The main thing you want to do is why use a desktop? Well, you know what? Desktops are a lot better, full stop, than laptops. I'm telling you this now. You could tell me it's not, but I'm telling you it is. I've been doing this for a long enough time to be able to say a desktop computer handles live streaming at a better price, as well as better circulation. If you've got a good desktop computer, what will happen is you'll have good circulation. It won't overheat. Everything can perform at its good peak performance. In laptops, what tends to happen is they overheat. If they overheat, everything in the computer kind of slows down. If it slows down, we're not making the best of the machine. Unless you've got a really dedicated streaming laptop with additional support for cooling. Even the cooling doesn't work that great as well. I'm going to look at cooling mats in a separate episode, but of course today we're looking at live streaming and a desktop for live streaming. So as mentioned, if you're joining me, thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I'm looking at desktop computers to get someone who hasn't live streamed before live streaming. This is the machine I picked. It's a budget option. If I was to spend this kind of money on a laptop, you're probably looking at plus 1200 your currency, enter your currency. However, this is a budget option. Firstly, because desktops are not cool anymore, apparently. They're not cool. People have laptops because they're cool. Laptops are convenient. You've got your laptop, you've got your monitor, you've got your keyboard, you've got your mouse, everything you need in a nice, concise piece. If you're able to have a dedicated space, this will be going into a dedicated location. What I mean by that is it will be going into a studio where woodworking takes place. So that's the kind of situation here. So again, we've got a 2 gigabytes graphics card in there, adequate for 1080p streaming. It's an i7 processor. So i7 processor will mean it can handle multiple cores, 6 cores on this one. You can have multiple tasks running at the same time. So that will help you get the best from the performance in terms of live streaming and encoding, as well as having programs running at the same time. So with desktops, I'm not going to talk much more about the desktop. I'm going to move on to the additional preferables. So here we have got 8GB RAM. We have got 2 slots empty. We can stick in additional 2 slots of 8GB RAM. That will help us keep everything more snappy when we're going through multiple programs and not run out of RAM. So I can see here we've got additional slots for storage space. So we'll make use of that. I'll get some hard drives I can put into there. That will keep us going for the hard drive situation. Apart from that, that is the desktop computer. Let me put the desktop back so you can see the front of it there. Now, of course, we are live on Amazon. So if you're joining me, hello and welcome. We're looking at a live streaming PC today. I like my PCs, desktops over laptops, but what's next? So I have got items featured in the carousel. Let me update the carousel. So let's go back, and that is currently the Dell Precision desktop. Now, let me show you something else. Of course, it's going to be used for live streaming. So what do we need after that? Well, I have chosen something. Return to live stream, and let me feature this for you. Okay, I'm currently featuring an additional item in the carousel below. You will see what that is. It is whack is updated. Okay. Ta-da! Is that lighting good on that? Can you see that? Let me. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. So basically, we've got the desktop. We need to live stream. What are we going to do? We are going to use the right cable, which I'm looking for right now. It's going to be a USB Type-C cable. And we're going to use it on this camera here. And you know what? Can I do this live? Can I connect this so I can give you an additional angle of this so you can get close-ups of what I'm talking about? I probably can. I don't want to risk it. I might end up messing it up and stopping the stream. So anyway, this is the OBS bot. Now, live streaming in an environment where you're going to be doing stuff, you need something that can just get on with it, because you're going to be busy doing your thing. If you're crafting, if you're making stuff, you're already going to be busy doing stuff. For example, right now, I'm busy talking to you. I've got my remote control here, so I could easily switch to my additional angle and go back to my desk, which is over there, come back here. All of this is part of your setup and how you set this up. So you can see there's a multiple of screens there, but the main thing you want to look at doing is getting the right camera, because if you're walking around doing stuff, you want a good quality camera that will follow you around and give you good quality live streaming. This is an OBS bot camera, AI. It basically follows your face around the studio. So if you're doing stuff, you can follow you around. And what will that mean? Well, that means you can do your thing and it will follow you. You can zoom into it with hand gestures, and during the live stream, it will actually look a lot nicer. You don't have to do anything. You press record, your live stream starts, your camera will follow you around the studio. How cool is that? If it follows you around the studio, you can basically say you've got your own cameraman walking around. Technically, it sits in one location, and then that will spin around, obviously. When it spins around, it's got a pan tilt feature, so it follows you around the room. So that's a live streaming camera. The good thing about this one is you can plug it into USB and it will work perfectly fine. You won't need to buy a capture card. I have got additional options that I'm linking in the carousel below for live streaming and better quality, also DSLR quality. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let me take you back to my desk. So let's go back. Okay, so I'm back at my desk right now. You can see how that transition took place. I'm live streaming to Amazon right now, and I'm actually showing you examples of different cameras. So behind me, you can see that is very nice and blurry. I'm using a DSLR with a capture card. What that means is the capture card can capture a higher quality image by HDMI. That's not the OBS camera I've linked you in the description in the carousel. Let me go back and show you that. Okay, so you can see there that transition was easy and relevant for you because you could see my DSLR camera, the quality. It was a lot better. I'm going to show you that in a separate carousel item below, linked, so you can check that out. But obviously we're looking at desktop computers for live streaming. So I've shown you one example of a smaller camera. This camera will get this type of quality. However, that camcorder is at 1080p. This is also at 1080p, but this has the benefit of following you around. It actually automatically does that. I should have plugged one of these in and shown you that. I can do that. I have got a recording of me doing that. So if you're thinking about this today, let me know in the comments. I have got it linked in the carousel and I can show you more detail about that camera. We're kind of covering a multitude of things. So I'm helping a friend set up a live stream. I bought the desktop. I'm going to do a bit of work to the desktop. When you buy a desktop computer, most of the time you want to do additional things to it which allow you to upgrade it at a later point. What does that mean? You've got a desktop, you've got an i7 processor, they've given you standard RAM. I'm going to buy some additional RAM for it, put it in. I'm going to buy an additional hard drive for it because he's going to do a lot of video work. If you're doing a lot of video work, that is going to be intensive on your processor. And obviously storage, because it's going to take up a lot more storage. We've got an SSD in there already, which will boot us up nicely. Let me update my carousel so you know what I'm talking about, because otherwise it might get confusing. So let's update that. Okay, so Dell Precision Desktop is what I was talking about a while ago. Again, linked below. Look at the price on it. Come on now. It's a reasonable price. Name me a desktop that you can get for that price. Sorry, name me a laptop that you can get for that price with that spec. It's very difficult to get that spec on a a laptop. Also, the laptop can struggle a bit in live streaming encoding environment. You could probably pick up a standard laptop designed for web surfing and things, but it's not going to give you great live streaming capabilities. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing this. I've taken the case off purposely on the side to show you what's inside this desktop. Dell Precision make very good work machines. We are designing this mainly for live streaming. So if we're live streaming on it, we've got the graphics card in there. We can update the graphics card because the power supply is a higher wattage power supply. But anyway, as mentioned, I am live today on Amazon helping you with your purchases. If you're thinking about buying something today, let me know in the chat. I can answer your questions and help you a bit more. In addition to that, we were looking at the camera. So I showed you one option, which is the OBS bot. This is more for someone that's not too technical, because I'm basically doing all the technical stuff for you. I picked out the machine, I'm doing the upgrades. I'm going to install clean Windows on there, Windows 10. Yeah, Windows 10. And we're going to add on additional software which can allow you to live stream. We've got a camera which can just be plug and play. How about if we want multiple angles? Well, that's the next decision. Let me update the carousel to the next item so we can discuss that. So we've got OBS Tiny Bot we've looked at. We've got a few Dell Precision items there. How about we look at another camera? So let me remove that to the side. Let me move that over there. And let me make this a bit more nice for you. So let's bring that there. Hopefully that shows in shot. Again, we are live today on Amazon, so I'm helping you with your purchases. Do let me know if you're struggling to buy anything today or you're thinking about live streaming. Everybody's live streaming now because we're all at home, so we have to have some type of live streaming for appointments or anything like that. Let me get one of my other camera boxes. I've got over, just check that. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab another box. A87. I've currently highlighted an item in the carousel. Okay, here we go. So hopefully you saw me just get that for you there. So this is an additional item. Now, this can be interesting. What do we mean by live streaming cameras? Look at that bad boy. So we've already discussed a few things today. We've looked at the desktop computer. So if you're joining me today, make sure you unmute and you can hear me. So hello, in case you're saying this on Amazon Live. Of course, we are looking at a good desktop streaming solution for your needs. What is that? Well, there's a few things you can think about. I want you to have a good desktop if you're thinking about live streaming. I picked desktops over laptops. Then we looked at a camera. That was one option we looked at, which was the OBS bot, which kind of does its own thing, following you around the room. Let me make sure I can position that again. In addition to that, why not look at one of these things here? You know what that is? That is, of course, an action camera. And you can tell I use that. So I've put it on a Gorilla Pod, just like that. I actually use that for live streaming as well. You can plug it in. There's two options there to use that for your needs. When you plug it in, you can use it in a different way. We're going to be using it in a woodworking environment. Like I mentioned, if you joined earlier, we're using this setup for a woodworking environment where someone wants to do their woodworking and live stream it. One camera. The camera can be put in a waterproof case, which I have just over here. Such as that. So what will happen with that is you can put the camera within. And then that can be used with sticky pads, and you can stick it upside down if you're using it on the ceiling. That would help you get additional shots. So that is actually quite a good thing to have, especially if you're live streaming. So there's a number of different cameras in this model. We can show you a number of them. So what you can do is, this one is the A87. Let me see if I can show you the better one for HDMI live streaming. How I added it in the carousel. This show has been made possible by Netax Storage Solutions. Who are Netax Storage Solutions, you ask me? Well, they offer over here memory cards and storage devices. So if you've got a camera, you want a reliable memory card. There's been various YouTube reviews and checks of the speeds of these, and they promise to deliver what they say on the card. So make sure to check the link in the description to pick up your card today, and let's get on with the show. Amazon Live. So I'm just going to update the carousel item there. Return. and then bring that into shot so I can show you the additional item. And of course, we are here to help you today, so if you have any questions, do let me know. So let me remove this one because that's not the current item featured. Let me get the other one. Okay. Hopefully that switch was smooth for you. So I'm basically transitioning between my studio. We've got 2 different locations to get you the best view of what I'm talking about today. So as mentioned, current item featured in the carousel is an A100 APEMAN action camera. What can that do for you? Well, that is the camera there. Now this has a slightly improved lens, and also the best thing about it is it actually has a HDMI out. So it's got 2 options there. One is a USB to charge it or take data off. One is a HDMI out. When you do that, let me bring you out an additional piece so you can see that nice and clearly. There we go. Just highlight it to its best ability so you know what we're talking about there. Let me try and get the nice light glare. There, kind of, yeah. There you go. So that is, let me move that out the way because that's messing up my shot, isn't it, people? So, yep. Again, we've looked at 2 cameras there for live streaming to help you get the best from your live streaming experience. What you will need is a chunk of additional cables to make all of this work. What is that going to be? So firstly, I'll show you an item. I might take it back to my computer to show you this item because I don't have it currently in stock here. So Elgato Cam Link. Let me take it back to my desktop and we can look at the next bit. Okay, back to my desk. Now I'm going to bring that item up and we're going to talk about that, and then I'll take it back over and we can look at the rest of the live streaming information. So let me share my screen with you. Just like that. Okay. Interesting. I've given you that screen. Let me just make sure I can give you the right screen. There we go. Okay. And that should be fine. Yeah. Okay. So current featured item in the carousel is an Elgato Cam Link. What does this allow you to do? Well, you can use, let me just bring that back here and just update this for you so you can see the listing correctly. And we are here and done. Okay, so now I should be able to share that with you. Perfect. Okay guys, so as mentioned, the Elgato Cam Link would allow that camera I was showing you earlier to plug into HDMI, and that HDMI will go into your camera, and then that allows your camera to be used as a webcam for live streaming. How cool is that? And it's actually a decent price. They've got different price options there for you. You've got 4K option as well. So if your camera is a 4K, you can do it at 30 frames a second. So that is Elgato. I didn't have that in stock, so I'm showing you on screen. But let's go back and look at some additional options now. So let's go back to our desk. Okay, there. So let me get you back on full screen here. We're back to our workstation now. So as you can see, what we're basically doing here for you is making sure you've got options. So I want you to make sure that you can live stream with additional things. We looked at this camera. This will be the HDMI one. So let me have a look at some HDMI cables, because cables will be important. And we have our HDMI cable. It's going to be one of these, because obviously we have got deliveries coming today. Actually, let me show you the next item in the carousel. So what I'll show you right now is the cables that you will need, because they're here. Obviously, all of this was ordered and come in. I'm going through a live streaming setup for you. So if you're joining chat right now, or you're joining the Amazon live session, I'm basically going through a live stream setup as I would help someone set up for live streaming. Desktop we looked at, we highlighted it in the carousel, so make sure you can scroll on the bottom or on the left, depending on if you're watching on replay. So next up, I've got leads. These leads allow you to use your camera in different ways. So these little cameras here, one is a USB type C, so that's fine. This action camera will need either a HDMI or a long. When I say long, we're talking long. You want me to measure it? Go on, let me measure it for you. Okay, let me open this up. So we've got a red one. I don't measure like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. 4 and a bit. So that's about 4 meters. So that 4 meters means I can put that lead. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So let me go back over there. This is about, well, we'll find out how long it is because we've just measured it. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. So now my computer's all the way over there. I plugged in the USB cable. What that allows me to do is, I've still got space. I could stick a camera right up in the top corner, and that corner camera would be a long way, but I can, obviously wireless would be perfect. However, that's a whole new budget and a whole new area. The area we're going to be using this live streaming setup in is going to be designed for woodworking. So they've already got braces around, which I can use to kind of hide the cable, as it were. Hide the cable. So that shows you that these types of cables can increase the distance. Again, I have 2 of these that I ordered because we can have 2 camera angles and a main camera angle. You know, I like my multi-view cameras. Let me bring you back here. So that's my desk. This is over there, both desk and me. And then that is me on my own, on my widescreen. So let me go back and roll this up again. There you go. So that was a current item featured in the carousel. You can get it in different colors and different sizes. So you'll notice I've got a red one here and a gold one. The reason I got 2 different colors is if I'm connecting 2 cameras at the same time, what I want is to know which one is which. So I have a red one and I have a gold one. Now these are 2 additional things that will be handy for live streaming. Let me bring you back to my full screen there so you can see everything. There we go. Again, we are live on Amazon today, so I'm helping set up a live streaming desktop system for 1080p live streaming video. We've looked at 2 cameras, we looked at cables. What else do we need to discover? I also covered the HDMI capture card, which is also essential to get the best from this whole setup. Now, I think I want to look at what alternative options we have. So these all came through today. I unpackaged them, you can see all the packaging, and basically set them up. Let's see what's in this one. What is this one? Could this be the next item I'm currently featuring on the carousel? Let me find out. I've got my, where's my blade? There we go. So I'll use my trusty Swiss Army knife just to get into this packaging. And also, again, I am here helping you today. So if you're stuck with your purchase, let me know, and let me see if I can help you get. I just make a little incision there, and hopefully I have the right item today. Okay, it is the HDMI capture card. So this is similar to the one I'm featuring in the carousel below. It allows you to use the HDMI feed of your camera and make it into a USB. Let me show you a quick view there. So that allows the USB to go into the computer, and then the HDMI to go into the side. The other side goes into the computer, so that makes most cameras able to be, let me get all this stuff off my desk. It allows most cameras to be usable as streaming cameras. So what have we got? Let's recap. We got our desktop computer. That was a fancy one because we're live streaming with it. We got some cables, all linked in the carousel. We've got action cameras, which we can use as webcams via HDMI out. If you have a DSLR, you can go even fancier. You'll remember my previous streams, I was talking about DSLR cameras for live streaming. So that is something you can look at. OBS bot, which will follow you around the room. So ideal for that environment. And of course, cables. If you're struggling with your purchase today, do let me know. I'm here live helping you with your purchases. So drop in chat if you got a comment, and it's always nice to say hello. So we've got the cables there. We've got the additional things. Let me update the carousel. So we've looked at the desktop. There's a few different desktops there, options actually. You can decide on your desktop.
This show has been made possible by Netax Storage Solutions. Who are Netax Storage Solutions, you ask me? Well, they offer over here memory cards and storage devices. So if you've got a camera, you want a reliable memory card. There's been various YouTube reviews and checks of the speeds of these, and they promise to deliver what they say on the card. So make sure to check the link in the description to pick up your card today, and let's get on with the show. What you would need for the camera
And in addition to that, we looked at additional options such as the HDMI capture card. And you'll ask me, this is one to look at. You'll ask me, what about using a webcam for a webcam? Why not just use a webcam? So Logitech do a very good webcam. We've got a C922 currently highlighted in the carousel. Shall we have a look at that in more detail? Because I like a good webcam. Currently I'm using a camcorder. And then let me update my keyboard here. He says, yeah. So now I'll go over to my desk and show you what else you can do. So let's have a look at that. Okay, here we go. Back to my desk now. So let me bring it back up on full screen there. And I'll show you more about the webcam. Because for live streaming, we looked at the desktop. Perfect. But what about the current item I featured in the carousel, which I'm going to make sure I can bring up for you now and share my screen with you. Only screen. Perfect. So now we are looking at the Logitech C922. Good price. They shot up recently, but they've come back to a reasonable price. So with this, you can actually get it set up and give you very nice, usable video, especially for gamers. So for example, similar to what I'm doing right now, I've got a little screen here. The background could have been a game. So that means you can use your camera in different ways. These are very usable and you can actually use them in multiple ways, because when you set them up, you can do Zoom sessions, you can use it for gaming, you can use OBS to record the feed. So all these things are something that would help you. So I want you to think about that when you're purchasing these kind of things. Also, you could use alternatives like we talked about, looking like a Elgato Cam Link and then getting a camera. Let me add a camera in that I think you could look at. Just to add, and something like, which one was it? I was looking at, that was a good deal on it actually. Canon 250D. Let's see if that comes up. I think they call it a SL2 in America. They're known by many names. So it's struggling to find that. So let me go and add in another DSLR live. I'm just updating the carousel for you now, so you can see that what I'm talking about at the same time. Let me just make sure you can see that. So, okay, is that probably my Wi-Fi signal? Yes. Come on, you can do it. Just thinking about it. So yes, as mentioned, those are a number of options today that we looked at. Here we go. Now we're cooking on gas. We're cooking on gas. Okay, now these types of things, let me get you something up just so you can see what I'm talking about. So earlier on, I was on a different camera. So for example, a webcam quality can be greatly improved with lighting. So make sure you spend some money on lights. But let me just update the carousel and show you what else you can do. Return. Right, let's just update this. There we go. Thanks for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you on Amazon Live. So let me bring you up to the next item. We've already looked at the desktop computer. Now let's look at Canon DSLR cameras. So say, for example, you want this type of quality for your live stream. You're doing something really professional, or you want to do it for gaming and make it stand out. This is a DSLR camera. Let me show you. A DSLR camera used with an Elgato Cam Link, which allows you to use that feed to get this type of quality that I'm showing you right now. So that is something you can do, and it works very nicely. So easily using those kind of things makes your kind of experienced, the customer experience a lot nicer. So if I was live streaming to YouTube or Twitch or other sites, then you can see this would look a lot more nicer than my standard webcam, which is why the big price difference comes in. Obviously, the camera can be used in multiple ways. Being my channel name is Zulf Photography, you'll know I use photography gear in loads of different ways. So currently I use my DSLR camera for live streaming as well as a camcorder. Let's go back to my table. So there you go. You can see there is a difference now. I'm back over here with you, and let's just do that. There we go. So I've used my live remote to be able to switch over to this scene. We were sitting down. We were looking at DSLR camera, which I've highlighted in the carousel. Look at that quality. Let me go back to that camera. I'm not there anymore, but look at that camera. The background is nice and blurry versus this one. They're both the same distance away from the location I'm standing in. However, what you need to consider is what is your intended purpose for your live streaming. I'm helping a friend set up a live stream, which is why I bought all this gear, and this gear is being used for live streaming in an environment. Desktop computer, perfect. Multiple camera angles, excellent. Elgato Cam Link HDMI capture cards, perfect. Additional cables to keep us powered during the live stream. Currently, you'll notice I don't have a monitor here. We can use an old TV plugged into the back of the computer via HDMI for standard streaming. The hertz and those things won't be excellent because you're not gaming on them, but you will get decent quality for normal live streaming like I'm doing right now, like a teaching type environment. So that was the action camera that we looked at a while ago. I've highlighted that in the carousel. So obviously that was A100, which you can use via HDMI out. We looked at the webcam options, we looked at micro USBs, and also the Dell Precision computer here. I took the side off to show you what was inside it and what you could do with it. So if you're currently on Amazon and you're buying today, let me know what you're looking at buying. What are you planning? If you're looking to set up a live stream, I can help you. I can show you a few things with different budgets in mind and different quality of video. I can give you options for what you want to do. So let me know. Apart from that, we had the Elgato, we had the action cameras, we had the OBS bot camera. Also, something like this can be interesting. So currently I'm highlighting an item, Blackmagic ATEM Mini. What would you want that for? Why would you want to use it? Well, you know what you can do with it? Watch this. That's my desk. Let me go to my desk. I'm back over here. Why would you want to do that? Well, the reason is, if you're live streaming, you don't want to edit any of your live stream, you want anything to flow nicely, you can use the Elgato, which I'm currently featuring. Blackmagic design, even get the name right, mate, come on. So okay, ATEM Mini Pro. Let me show you my screen so we can look at that and discuss it a bit more. So this one allows you to do multiple live stream switching. What do we mean? Live stream switching, that's my desk I was at a while ago. Here I am. Here's both. How cool is that? You can actually live stream and show multiple locations at the same time using an ATEM Mini, which allows you to plug in all your cameras and features additional options for screens, screen-in screens, similar to picture-in-picture mode, which is what I talked about. But that's an additional item. Let's go back to my okay, there we go. So back to our wide setup here. So as mentioned, these are all options for you to get the best from your live streaming experience. I want you to be able to use what you have and get the best quality. If not, if you have a certain requirement, you might end up having to buy specific gear to get the live switching done. So for example, right now we feature the Blackmagic Design ATEM Mini, which allows scene switching of multiple cameras, which I did an example of live. We're looking at the Dell Precision desktop computer to live stream and set up a live stream. We looked at additional cables. We looked at cameras as well. What do you think about that? Is that something you're looking to do today? Are you setting up a live stream? Are you looking to buy the next best thing for your live stream? What are you shopping for today? Okay, let's go back to the featured items in the carousel. So cameras wise, what can you do? What are cameras like? OBS bot, auto camera following bar. Let's look at that one more time and give you more information about that. Let me just move my live stream camera to one side and bring over the OBS camera. So this camera is very small. Let me bring it up so you can see it properly. There you go. I was going to set up an additional close-up angle on this as well, but because I was showing the desktop computer, I ended up going wide shot. But some of the cameras I've positioned here are easily following you around. So shall I show you a clip of that? Let me show you a clip of the OBS camera that I've currently got featured, just to give you a live example of it. Let me go back to my desk. I remember I recorded this for you. So we're going to have a look at that right now. There we go. So we're back over here. Let me bring up that example for you that I was talking about. Let me go into my OBS. So give me a second, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to get you a live clip of the current camera I'm featuring in the carousel to show you exactly what it can do. Let's go to studio mode and let me get that file ready for you. Is that the one? Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let me see if that will play for us today. There we go. Okay. So studio mode. Currently you are looking at, let me bring my camera on top of that so you can see me. That is the camera I'm featuring in the carousel. I made a video about it a little while ago, just before my live stream. You can see there, see how smooth it follows you around the room. And that was basically my setup. So that's an example, a live example of the OBS camera that I'm currently featuring in the carousel. Watch this. You do hand movements and gestures and it actually follows and zooms in. Watch this. Took a while. That was my first time using it. So here we go. Now you can see there, that automatically zoomed in. That is the OBS PTZ camera currently featured in the carousel. So look at that. What do you think of that? Let me know in the comments. Are you looking to buy something today for your live streaming needs? Because you will see that these cameras are actually getting a lot better. AI, artificial intelligence, they're going to follow you around everywhere these days, recording you. So yeah, just for anybody else new joining into the Amazon live stream, that is a clip I recorded a while ago before this stream went live, just to show you the camera I'm using. So you can see there, oh, there we go. When it follows your face, so if your face is not visible, it can struggle. So you'll see my light up here was in the way. So that gives you an example of the OBS bot and how that can give you, see that, zoom in, look at that. It's not bad, is it? Quality wise, that's that camera I'm currently featuring in the carousel. So you can see that allows you to get a really professional live stream without having to worry, a bit hot there, without having to worry about anybody standing there. So if you're a one-man band and you're on a live stream, you can use this camera for live streaming, and especially for what I'm doing. Because if you're following me now and you're joining new, basically what I was doing is I was looking for a setup for a friend. Over on my desk, I have everything set up. Let me go over there because I've got a bit tired of sitting down now. I think we need to stand up. So let me go over to my desk and turn on the mic before I get there. Okay, there we go. Okay, check one. There we go. The mic's on here. So let me go back to this screen here. So what is that and what am I doing today? I am setting up a live streaming setup. I've ordered everything here, which is currently featured in the carousel. I've got 3 different options for Dell desktop computers. I gave you 3 different options because of one thing: budget and what the intended purpose is. You might want to do something else on it to what I want to do. I want to stream at 1080p. I've got cameras. Did you see my example of the OBS camera? If not, you can rewind on replay and watch this back if you're on Amazon Live. But I was basically looking at different options. I am here for you today, helping you with live questions. So do here, you could probably see the banner along the bottom. I am here to help answer questions live. So if you're shopping and you're struggling, if you've got anything you're currently buying and you're thinking about live streaming with it, what are you thinking about? What are your questions? I'm here to help you with that. I've done live streaming for a long amount of time to be able to give you the right kit for your needs and for your purpose. So this desktop computer, it's not a really fancy new Asus gaming RGB black dragon, blue dragon. What's the mouse name? There's really fancy computer mouse out now for gamers. The black dragon? No. Magic Dragon. Come on, help me out. But yeah, so they've got different options. This isn't the best gaming computer, but you could play Fortnite on it on lower settings. Definitely. You've got enough there. It's got a 2GB graphics card. Not excellent, but you've got an i7 processor, 3.4 GHz, and the 6 cores, so you can multitask as well. SSD hard drive, so quick read-write speeds. As long as you're plugged into the internet, Ethernet, and not Wi-Fi, you'd get good speeds, because Wi-Fi can drop signals sometimes, so Ethernet's very good. Again, we are basically setting up a live streaming computer. That's the aim of the game. So let me go back and feature the Dell Precision system that I'm talking about. Again, not the latest greatest computer. You would associate these computers more with things like work, as in like work systems, workstations they call them sometimes. I'm just updating the carousel for you now so you can see what I'm talking about. And return to my live stream. And let me make sure you can see this. Dell Precision. There we go. So I took the side of this off to show you the internals of the desktop machine, and we were looking at the specs. If you're new here and you're enjoying the stream, do make sure to click the follow button over on the top here. It allows you to keep an eye on the live streams. I've got a lot more live streams planned where I'm going to be speaking about cameras, lighting, computers, the best camera, and to get all of that on a good budget and for your intended needs. So I think you should keep an eye on my follow button and keep that checked. Currently featuring in the carousel is this desktop computer we talked about. We have gone through the specs of this. I did the unboxing live today. We looked at additional cabling that we'll need, longer cables to allow us to use cameras such as the PTZ camera, like that one there. I should really put it up. There we go. And also an additional option here which you could use by HDMI, which is the APEMAN branded camera.
This show has been made possible by Netax Storage Solutions. Who are Netax Storage Solutions, you ask me? Well, they offer over here memory cards and storage devices. So if you've got a camera, you want a reliable memory card. There's been various YouTube reviews and checks of the speeds of these, and they promise to deliver what they say on the card. So make sure to check the link in the description to pick up your card today, and let's get on with the show.
What does that allow you to do? Do you want to see? I shall show you an example, a live example of what I'm featuring in the carousel right now. Lets you do. Watch this. So I've switched there. The switching bit is not part of it. That's the separate one. I've got a mini ATM mini that shows you that. Let's go back over to my desk. Let's speak about that. There we go. So now we're back at my desk. Now look at this. Look at this quality compared to that quality. What is the main difference between what I'm doing right now here and what that was over there? Just over there. While the main difference was different cameras, different purposes. So for example, if you're doing a professional live stream, you want good quality video, blurry backgrounds, good lighting, LEDs in the background, and make it look nice. Live streaming is all dependent on what you're going to do. You're gaming, you probably want something like this to make it fancy. So what would I do? What would I do? There we go. I've got the Elgato Cam Link. That allows me to turn my DSLR camera into a webcam. So that's the first item featured in the carousel. Next one, let's have a look at that. What is the next one? The next thing you're going to need is a DSLR camera. This is all dependent on budget. I showed you a few budget options today. However, current featured item in the carousel, DSLR camera. Get yourself a DSLR, get yourself a Cam Link, plug it in via HDMI to your computer, set up OBS, and you too could have very good quality video to help you live stream. You could be using it for team meetings, you could be using it for work, you could be using it for casual gaming. All of that depends on what you're doing. Of course, today my live stream is to help my friend set up his live stream setup. So I looked at a desktop computer, as you can see over on my desk, my standing desk, and I showed you a few options. I think I'll go back now to my standing desk and finish this off for today, because we've covered a few good points there. We've had a good session. I've shown you the computer. Let's go back over there. Okay, check one. There we go. So the mic's over here and we've got set up on the mic. Basically, today's stream was to get you live streaming. I've shown you a number of different options here for you. Did any of those help you? Did you find them helpful? We've got a desktop. We've got cameras. We even looked at fancy cameras. I even showed you the fancy camera examples like that one over there. Just down as I was sitting over there. What do you think? Is this something that you want to set up? Are you looking to set up your live stream today? Have you sorted it out? Have you purchased the right camera, the right computer for your needs? Here for you.